First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of the lesson is man allegedly unalive wife doing conjugal visit. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by USA Today. And this crime was done back in November, I think November the 13th of 2024, but now they just not now bringing it out, So this is a news article. I think it came out today or yesterday, so they bringing all this information out. I think it came out yesterday. So right now, we're seeing these things are going to constantly pick up. The love of men is constantly waxing cold. Also, that spirit of vengeance is working overtime. So we're going to get a little bit of this news article. I have videos to bring it out with more edification. And I thought through the spirit that, that it's a good lesson to bring out, with edification. And also we constantly knowing that the Lord is constantly bringing forth judgment. He said, first my judgment would start at the house of Israel. So a lot of people right now becoming unalive, and also we knowing that the body count is constantly going to increase, right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So a lot of things are constantly happening. This world is very wicked, The love of men is waxing cold, Wickedness has exceedingly polluted the entire earth, and their harmful works are fulfilled. So the Lord is getting ready to judge this place. And once again, we seeing that these things going to constantly pick up. So this lady was unalive back in November of 2024. So let's go into this news order. I don't talk long enough. It says here, convicted murderer accused of killing wife in Northern California prison during a visit. Let's get a little bit more. So it's dated March 22nd, 2025, but this happened back in November 24. They're just not now charging this man. It says here, a California inmate convicted of killing 4 people is now being accused of killing his wife during a conjugal visit at a prison in November, said, according to a report in the Los Angeles Times. Said David Brinston killed 62-year-old Stephanie Brinston at Mule Creek State Prison in Lone. Said about 40 miles northeast of Stockton, in Northern California. Said the Times reported this week, citing a local sheriff and district attorney office. So they just not now charging this man with the unaliving of his wife. She came to visit him, but she never came back. Let's get a little bit more of it. It said David Brinston, 54, is serving 4 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole for killing 4 men during a robbery at a Los Angeles apartment in 1990, said the Times reported. Said the California Department of Correction and Rehabilitation did not respond to USA Today request to confirm the killing on Saturday. Said the department only released a statement saying that on November the 13th, David Brinston said phone correction officers around 2 a.m. to report that his wife had passed out during her visitation. So we're seeing right now, this man was already convicted of 4 unalivings, said during a robbery. And also now he's had unalive his wife. So she's the 5th victim. What was going through her mind. But one thing about it, this is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, who perished being innocent. And one thing about it, that, these type of things right here, this is judgment from the Lord. A lot of people, they run around and say the lady was a good woman. She was, she was this and she was that. But one thing about it, we got to pay for whatever we have done in our past life, in this life. So we don't know exactly what she have done in her past life, what she had to pay for in this life. So one thing about we knowing that this is judgment from the Lord. And when you look at it through the spirit, you got to be spiritual to see what's coming down the pipeline. And so one thing about it, this man right here is very wicked. And one thing about it, they don't know what was going on in this man's mind while he was there with his wife. I got, a video to bring it out with a little bit more edification. And this is ridiculous. So they're saying that this man strangled his wife, to death. So, this man is already was, he didn't have a life of his own. So this lady, I guess, a lot of people think that way that, they can rehabilitate someone or a person could change. But one thing about it, everyone is standing in their lot. Either you righteous or you unrighteous. Are you an unbeliever? Are you a believer? Either you're holy or you what? Unholy. Are you wicked? Are you what? Are righteous. So, these things right here, it's plain and simple. But a lot of our people, they still don't trust in the Lord. They still leaning on their own understanding. So this lady decided to go to see this man. And after this man is already unlike 4 people. And one thing about it, just like I said, our people, have a lack of knowledge. Our people are destroyed, because you have rejected, now the Lord will reject thee too. So one day you won't have a covering. And if, and probably, a lot of people, the Lord love everyone can be saved, and you caught up in that type of foolishness, these type of things will happen unto you, even though, may the Lord be with her, maybe the Lord may have mercy upon her. But one thing about it, we know that this is judgment from the Lord. Let's get a little bit more of this. It says here, it's an officer attempted to resuscitate her, but she was pronounced dead at 2:51 a.m. Said the department said the investigation into Stephanie Brinson's death by Mule Creek State Prison investigators and the Amador County District Attorney Office is ongoing. So it's ongoing right now. It said the family visit are a privilege, and incarcerated persons must apply and meet strict eligibility, kind of a tongue twisted there, criteria to be approved. Said the department said in its statement, only those who demonstrate and sustain good behavior and meet specific program requirement are considered these visits and designated to support positive family connections and successful rehabilitation. Salakia. So this man right here, he said he was on good behavior. How in the hell this man is going to be good behavior? This man has killed 4 people. Can people change? Of course, but one thing about it, this man is in prison. This man probably, he probably still ain't seeking the Lord. He still probably hadn't repented. So it's obvious he hadn't repented. So he unalived his wife. So, these things are going to constantly happen. But one thing about it says in the Bible, we get that in a minute, that a wicked woman is for a wicked man. So, hey, man, this is right here. It's kind of ridiculous. This woman was 62-year-old, and you thinking that she would know better to try to go and try to be with this man. That's why I say, silly women laden with sin. So that we got to look at these things, from a spiritual eye. And I'm not really trying to get down on a woman and hoping that the Lord have mercy upon her. But these things like this is judgment from the Lord. This right here is kind of like an odd situation where I brought it out. This woman went to see her convicted husband, that had unalived 4 people, which now he had unalived 5 people. Now this man is just not being charged with this crime. So, man, these things right here, man, it's going to constantly pick up. That's why we're constantly warning you to seek the Lord, seek the Lord now before these things, may come upon you. We don't know how. We don't know if the next day gonna be it's not gonna be promised. So we have to, if it's the Lord's will. So that lady went in good faith, and thinking that this man is, hey, this is my husband or the children's their father, and I love him. Hey, one thing about it is that you got to know. One thing about the Lord always say though, we can't be fellowshipping with the world, be friends with this world, being up Salakia, don't be around people that are unbelievers, or be around people that are evildoers, or a person that is a murderer. The Lord said, don't be around those people. You got to cut your losses loose and constantly move forward and trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So now let's get a quick precept. Done ramble long enough. Let's go here to Job chapter 4 and verse 7. It said, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or were the righteous cut off. So one thing about it, whoever perished being innocent, you are going to pay for what you have done in your past life. It's called reincarnation. And one thing about it, in the place of judgment is what? Under the sun. So the Lord's constantly handing down that judgment each and every day. Verse 8, he said, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. So exactly what's getting ready to happen to a lot of our people. If you reap in wickedness, you shall reap the same. You shall what? Reap what you have sown. So one thing about it is no coincidence. We see things through the spirit, and then a lot of people look at this as a tragedy. Or this is a shame. Why did she go there? Why did she go there? A man going is of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So the issues of death belongs to the Lord. So the Lord what unalived her. Really, when you look at it through the spirit, it says here, verse 9 says, by the blast of the Almighty they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. So exactly what's happening. You're here today and you're gone tomorrow. Let's get one more before we start today's video. Let's go here to that's something I'm seeing through the spirit. Let's go into Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24. And let's get verse, I think it's around 12 or 13 of what I'm looking for. Love of many waxing cold. It's right here. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12, it said, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So when you go into that world, cold, go into psychotic. And these people right now, are very demonic. You know what I'm saying? And, right now we're seeing more increased violence, more increased sin upon sin. These things are constantly picking up. Amen. Just like I say, people are right now are very they don't have any love. They are very selfish. They're very self-willed, walking in great pride. You know what I'm saying? Constantly despisers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. They don't give a damn what they do. This is a adulterous and sinful generation. And one thing about it, this is the last generation right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Let's read it in the NLT. Verse 12, Matthew chapter 24, verse 12, it says, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. You know what I'm saying? So one thing when you go into that word, waxing cold or whatever like that, going into cold, it goes into psycho. So a lot of people right now, got that spirit of vengeance upon them. The Lord is constantly causing these things to happen, and these things going to constantly pick up left and right, So this was judgment from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we already know that, the love of men is constantly waxing cold, left and right, blood touching blood. These things are going to constantly pick up. The Lord is causing that division each and every day. The Lord is causing a separation. You know what I'm saying? Who is his and who is not his. The 2/3, so 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. And once again, first his judgment will start at the house of Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at now. So now let's start today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified. So first, a conjugal visit. This is what this means right quick before we get started. Conjugal. Conjugal. So it means, just simply mean, relating to marriage or the relationship of a married couple. So that's pretty much what it means. Pretty much people know what it means. They get together and do their thing. You understand what I'm saying? So let's go here now. So this lady was unalive doing that relationship, doing that getting together. You understand what I'm saying? So let's go here to the video, Salakia. And after the video, once again, we'll start today's lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
I'm sure most of us have heard of conjugal visits, but for those who don't know, a conjugal visit, now often referred to as family visits, allow family members of those incarcerated to spend one-on-one secluded time with their loved ones. Now, usually the visits are away from the prison in an apartment-like setting. The visitor can spend the night, they can have physical interaction, and they are usually unsupervised. Now, there are some restrictions as to who is allowed to have these visits, but that is often at the discretion of the facility and dependent upon the inmate's disciplinary record. These visits are only allowed on a state prison level and only in a handful of states. California is one of those. Since 1994, 54-year-old David Brinson has been incarcerated in the California state prison system, serving 4 life sentences for killing 4 men during a robbery in 1990. And his sentence had no possibility for parole. His wife, 62-year-old Stephanie Brinson, was a hairstylist, businesswoman, mother of 2, grandmother, and loved by all who knew her. She visited David often, and her family says that a lot of times they would spend their visits reading the Bible. Stephanie was pushing her husband to be a better person. On November 13th, 2024, Stephanie and David were staying overnight together on the grounds of the Mule Creek State Prison near Sacramento, California. At around 2 a.m., David informed officers that his wife had passed out. Sadly, she was pronounced dead at 2:51 a.m. Recently, Stephanie's death has been ruled a homicide. Police now believe that David had strangled his wife to death. However, Stephanie's family wants answers, and rightfully so, but especially her children. They want to know how David, with his dangerous background, was even awarded the privilege of having unsupervised visits. The investigation of the death of Stephanie Brinson is still ongoing. The sources used for this video were USA Today, People Magazine, ABC 10, and Law and Crime.
I had a chance to speak with the family of this woman. Her name is Stephanie. She went up to Mule Creek State Prison. That's up in Amador County. She went there to have a series of nights with her husband in a family visiting unit of the prison. According to the Amador County Sheriff's Department and CDCR, at some point in the middle of the night, the person that she was in there to visit, by the way, convicted of 4 murders here in Los Angeles County in the 1990s, called into the prison staff to say she wasn't breathing. It wasn't for another 2 weeks after her death that her family was notified that something seemed suspicious about the case. And it wasn't until last Friday that they were finally notified that this, in fact, was a homicide, that she died by strangulation. Now, the man she was in there to see, her husband, has not been charged, has not even been named as a suspect to us when we inquired about the case. Tonight, the family is remembering her, and they're frustrated about what was allowed to happen in that prison.
She would do toy drives during the holiday to give back to the community. She was just a very giving person.
It's very frustrating, especially because they haven't charged anything yet. They just know that it's a homicide, but nobody's been charged or prosecuted or anything. So it's a very frustrating role because we know it was just him and her in the room, nobody else. No supervision, no phones. They take her phone. They take all her belongings. So what hope does she have?
They are accountable. They are accountable. You know, it was my mother's choice as a grown woman to be there with the person that she was with. But they're accountable for the type of protection that they provide for these people when they provide a service like this.
Now, it should be pointed out that these family visiting units are separate from the main housing unit of the prison. They are not supervised. There is no guard inside of these units. There are no cameras inside of these units. There is a phone. And according to the family, every now and again, a prison staff member would come by and have them check in. They don't think that's enough at all. I asked CDCR if they believe that it's appropriate for somebody to be convicted of 4 murders to be allowed to be alone unsupervised with somebody who is not incarcerated at the prison. They say that there is a rigorous set of rules that come with these family visits. I just went through the regulations for the California Code of Rehabilitation, and it doesn't say anything about a conviction of the person and what they had. It talks about their conduct in prison. By the way, they're only ineligible for these visits if it was a violent crime against a minor or a family member.
Wow. So we seeing that this lady was a beautiful older lady, 62 years old, and she trusted in this wicked so-called black devil. It's making me mad because the idea about it, we knowing that this all is spiritual and this is judgment from the Lord. But one thing about it is that if you going off your own lustly desires, or it's pretty much just leaning on your own understanding, these things will happen to you. But one thing about it, the issues of death belongs to the Lord. So one thing about it, maybe the Lord will have mercy upon her. But one thing about it, she got caught up in that evil net. And so when you look at that man, you already can tell that this man had demons on him like a mug. You know what I'm saying? This man was very wicked. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, this man, he did not love his wife. So, his life was over. So he ended her life also. This wicked devil got hell to pay. So let's start here, Salaki for all that. You're just in the spirit. Let's go here to Psalm. I'm going to just run in the spirit on this lesson here. Let's go to Psalm chapter 1 and Psalm chapter 1 and verse 1. It said, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." So one thing about it, this lady, that you shouldn't have had anything to do with this damn man. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, hey, a man going is of the Lord, also though anyone perish being innocent. Let's read it in the NLT. It says, "So, oh, the joys of those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or stand around with sinners, or join with the mockers." So one thing about it, why do you want to be with this man? Why do you want to come around this man? But just like I said, she trying to teach him about that man didn't give a damn about nothing about knowing about the Lord. That's why he in the place where he was in. He was already being condemned. He's already, in that mindset. He cannot be rehabilitated. He's a part of the 2/3 club, and he will be totally destroyed, and he's gonna have to suffer that second death. The Lord said, "No murderers will enter in the kingdom of heaven." So now, it's one thing, you can't have anything to do with these type of wicked ass people. When you come into truth, you got to distance yourself. You got to cut it off. If you don't, these things will happen to you. She should have cut this off. You know what I'm saying? But hey, she did not. But one thing about it, let's go here to James. There's something in James I want to get the Spirit leading me here. James chapter, just a quick lesson through the Spirit. James chapter 4, and I think it's around verse 4. I think it's 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is what I want right here. And it reads, said, James chapter 4 and verse 4 said, "Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Almighty? So whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Almighty, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua." So one thing about it, said, you being friends with something that is worldly, even though you went down there and you had good intentions and good faith. But one thing about it, you're not supposed to be around those type of things. This man is of the world. This man ain't giving a damn about doing right or trying to be to repent. All he did was following his lustful desire, just like she was, But one thing about it, what she meant for good, he meant for what? For bad. So let's read this in the NLT. There's something I'm bringing out, but we already know that if you're of this world or doing things that's displeasing to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, that you are an enemy of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Let's read this once again. It said, "You adulterers, don't you realize that friendship with the world make you an enemy of the Almighty? I say it again. If you want to be a friend of the world, you make yourself an enemy of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua." So the reason why I brought out this scripture is that she made herself friendly to this wicked ass man. You know what I'm saying? So you've been friendly with the world. You've been friendly with a unbeliever. You've been friendly with a murderer. You know what I'm saying? You've been friendly with someone that is, don't give a damn about the Lord's ways and his laws. He don't give a damn about none of that. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, so one thing about it, this is exactly what's happening. The Lord, so don't be among this type of wickedness. And one thing about it, if you're not seeking the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, then you are seeking death. So one thing about it, I don't know whether she knew who she were, or did she know who she was according to the Bible. I don't know none of those things about her, or I don't know, maybe she had good intention, or was she hollering at JC? JC would get you unalive also. So, we just don't know. Maybe the Lord have mercy upon you. This right here kind of gets to me a little bit because, the lady was a beautiful older lady. And one thing about it, I hate these things will happen, but more to come. And one thing about it, the judgment is going to come down from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. And one thing about it, you got to hate. One thing about it, you got to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So now let's go here. It's another one I'm going to get right here. Just something coming through the spirit right here. And maybe might get one more. Not a bit meant to be a long lesson. Let's go here to Ecclesiasticus Sirach, chapter 26. Let's get this one here right quick. Just like a lot of time when you see things like this, this made me think about this scripture right here. Whether she was wicked or whatever. But just like I say, they just the good and the bad. You all gonna have your day with the Lord. So where it go. So let's go here. Been rambling long enough. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. And verse 20, I think around 23, ain't been over here in a minute. Let's get this one right here. Made me think of this when I first seen this clip. And it says, Ecclesiasticus Sirach chapter 26 and verse 23. So a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fears the Lord. So one thing about it, that, why was this woman constantly fooling around with this wicked ass man? So it made me think that, hey, could this woman be wicked? Just like I say, the Lord know, he knows her, so one thing about it that you see it right here. Once again, let's read it once again. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So, but a godly woman is given to him that fears the Lord. So one thing about it, that, so this lady, I don't know what it was all about. And once again, may the Lord have mercy upon her. But one thing about it, that, this lady was constantly involved with a wicked man. She already know what deed that this man did. Yeah, you can forgive a person, but you also can stay away from a person. But one thing about it, the Lord is the ultimate judge, and also the word judges us also, and also right now we are rehearsing the righteous acts. And out about it, though, the Lord is coming back for the Elohims, the judges, the rulers, the divine ones. So one thing about the prophets are going to be the judge in the next kingdom, So one thing about it, that, these things right here, it's going to constantly increase. The love of many is constantly waxing cold. And also that spirit of vengeance is working overtime. So let's read this once again. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fears the Lord. And who fears the Lord? The elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Also we have elect women, of the house of David, also that great multitude. So one thing about it, we have to, it's a one wrong decision, we cause these things. But once again, the Lord is in perfect control. So now let's go here to Psalm chapter. Let's get this one in Psalm chapter. Oh man, Psalm chapter 78. Psalm chapter 78 is one I want to get out of here. The Lord something, he's constantly bringing, man, these evil angels, the Lord is sending upon these people, and one thing about it, that's why we always tell you to repent and return to your true power, if you are part of the election. Let's see here. It says, Psalm chapter 78 and verse 49 say, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, said wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. And about when you go to indignation, that's the Lord's righteous anger. So that's what the Lord is constantly doing each and every day, sending forth wrath, indignation, troubles, because a lot of people are walking in great pride, and great, all sorts of calamity is getting ready to fall upon them. That's exactly what we're seeing each and every day. So it's going to be more judgment to come. These things are going to constantly pick up. Let's read it once again. Psalm chapter 78, verse 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So that's exactly what the Lord is constantly doing each and every day. They're constantly doing the bidding of the Lord, constantly beholding the good and the evil. The Lord is judging each and every day. So let's go to this one right quick. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 5. And it reads, said, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So the Lord is constantly bringing forth that judgment each and every day. It faileth not. And the unjust knoweth no shame. So that man, in that prison, he knoweth no shame. He'll do anything and everything. And this man had demons on. When you look at him, he's full of demons, full of wickedness. And one thing about it, the Lord's going to bring forth judgment upon him. Also, he already brought him, put him in incarcerated. Now he is getting ready to be unalive also. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming. You reap what you sow. So now let's go here. What the Lord is constantly, this is what the Lord is doing. The Lord unalive that woman, whether we believe it or not. A lot of people, it's a tragedy. Why did this happen? She was so good. Don't anyone perish being in it. And none of us good. The only one that is good is Yahweh, the great king that sits on the throne. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you know what I'm saying? Even our Lord and Savior said that the only one that is good is my Father that which are in heaven. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, these things are here. Let's go Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. It says here, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So the Lord is causing these things to do. The issue of death belongs to the Lord. You see right there, I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So no one is going to escape the hands of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Whether you thinking that you are a person that calling yourself good, or you saying that you living a godly life, but the Lord know what you did in your past life. And one thing about it, the Lord is the ultimate judge. The Lord is constantly bringing forth that judgment each and every day. You know what I'm saying? One thing, but people look at this as a tragedy, but it's a judgment from Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And hey, man, we're here, man. And let's see here. Let's read a little bit more. It said, verse 40 said, for I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. Verse 41, if I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I reward them that hate me. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. That's what the Lord is constantly doing, man. He's bringing forth that judgment every day. You know what I'm saying, man? We are here. It is at the door. So now let's get one more. Let's go here to one moment. Let's go here to Revelation. We'll close out in Revelation. Let's go into Revelation, because this man was a murderer, and he's going to have to face that second death, which in fact is a lake of fire. We'll close out there. You know what I'm saying? This man is not going to enter into the kingdom. I mean, he can repent all he wants to. It's getting ready to be a judgment day to him. A lot of people thinking that you can do whatever the hell you want to do, like these wacky-tacky Christians in the church, thinking that you can do any damn thing. You can be gay. Or you can come to the Lord. You can be a mass murderer. You can come to the Lord. The Lord will accept you. Everything is all right. I know you killed 100 people, but it's okay. You can't enter. That's a damn lie. And one thing about a lot of people have a strong delusion. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, that JC, that Jesus cross, is getting a lot of people unalive. Because he's still thinking that the Lord loves everyone. Everyone can be saved. There's like, you think that this man that murdered 4 people, this woman thought she can go there, and change his mindset. Thought she could bring him to the Lord. The Lord is the only one will let someone in and out. The Lord is the door. Yahweh Shai. He's the door, the way, the truth, the way, and the life. One thing about it, no one comes to the Father but by him. You know what I'm saying? So we need to stop trying. Even the mental law, we only can present the evidence. It's up to you. It's up to you, and it's up to the Lord to wake your ass up. If you're not waking up because you're not a part of the elect, you do stupid things like this, you're not a part of the elect. Trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The Lord said don't have anything to do with these type of wicked so-called black devils. You know what I'm saying? Let's go here. Let me close out here. I'm just a little bit upset, just in the spirit. Shalakia. Let me see. I lost my little train of stuff. Oh yes, Revelation 21. Revelation chapter 21. We close out at verse 8. We'll close out here. Let me highlight this right quick. And this is plain and simple. It said, but the fearful and the unbelieving. Start at the top again. Revelation chapter 21 and verse 8. It said, but the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So what is the second death? You know what I'm saying? What is the lake of fire? Babylon the Great, America. You know what I'm saying? AKA, you know what I'm saying? America. You know, so one thing about it is that, you know, this man is headed to the second death. He's headed to the lake of fire. And one thing about it, the Lord said, you know, is no, these people will not enter in the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? They are going to have to suffer this second death. They shall know it, death by pain. So one thing about it, you know, we got to constantly trust and believe in the Lord. And one thing about it, you know, is if you're ignorant, you will remain ignorant. And one thing about it is that, you know, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time. Your faith, what you have believed in, walk in the path of righteousness. Trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You got to have a spirit of what? A discernment. This woman did not have a spirit of discernment. This, you know, the knowing what is wicked, what is good. And one thing about it, this lady was mixed up in the head, but now she's back in her right mind and hoping and praying that the Lord will have mercy upon her. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you know, we're all going to get back in our right mind very soon when the Lord returns. Our salvation is at the door. And once again, trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is man allegedly unalive wife doing conjugal visit. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.